What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and of course, hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
Week 7. Not that big of a deal for our Cowboys, of course. You know, we had a bye week.
We almost won the bye week.
Yeah, almost won it here until Sunday night, of course, and the Eagles, they pulled it off. But we'll talk about the games today. But again, we had a bye week, resting our players, trying to get some things fixed on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side, all over the place. Jerry Jones giving a thumbs up. We'll talk about all of this and more. Today, it's really more of a, how's the NFL doing so far this week with us taking the back seat for this week for the most part. And today,
yeah, they gotta find another hype man, right?
Yeah, no Cowboy, game today, but there's a lot to discuss on everything else that happened. So stick around with us, guys. I want to know your thoughts, your opinions, and of course, here on the finale of the week. Here, I know it's been a short week because of the Monday night game. It was a short week because we had some family stuff, some birthday stuff. Happy birthday to the wife, by the way.
Thank you.
But, so we had some stuff going on. So, of course, you guys had the one-time viewing live stream. A lot of things going on, but there's going to be a winner this week. We're going to have a champion. Are there going to be new faces? Are going to be the same old faces? We will see. We get dominance from the OGs. We'll see. Because right now, we're going to shout out 3 weeks in a row the sponsor of the week, Mark Hovsepian.
Woo!
Much love to the man from Hawaii. Repping it. Listen, he has an all-time record there, sponsor of the week. The ticker going around. He's been repping that spot. He has the all-time record of 15 weeks in a row. But currently, he's got a 3-week streak, trying to go for 4, but he's not on the top of the board right now. The man, Snug X, you know why he's here. He currently is the Cash App King for 10 weeks in a row, trying to go for number 11. Will he get it? Well, he's in the lead on the Cash App side currently right now, and he's also in the lead on the overall board. The Lunatic is second. Mark Hovsepian is third. Jason Renfro, by the way, dropping the Cash App dollar holler right there. He also had a pre-stream dollar holler and the Go Cowboys. Much love to him. He's fourth on the board. And the man staying skeptical, rounding out the top 5. Skeptical fan. He dropped a $2 pre-stream holler. And by the way, he's also the gifting champion. Last week, he's got a 3-1 lead right now over Jason Renfro and Justin D. Tonight, will he be crowned back-to-back? A lot of back-to-back possibilities. We'll see what happens. A lot of 3-peats possibilities, 4-peat. A lot of 11 in a rows here possibly tonight. We'll see some records kind of being shaken here in MCF. We'll see what happens at the end of the stream tonight. Much love to everybody on the boards. And baby, outside of that, you got the Mr. Jason Renfro, 90 points on the stream, boss. He's rocking that top spot there and holding it down, all in that green, almost fully loaded. Much love to Jason Renfro. Now, there's, of course, the super chats. You can drop.
Like Skeptical Fan who said, you disappointed me, Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins, let it slip away. They disappointed me as well. I thought they were going to
what happened to that offense?
I know. So, again, much love, by the way, Skeptical Fan. And, yeah, we'll talk about these games today. Most of these games, touch on them. And how they affect the Cowboys going forward here. Is now we got to get ready for a Rams week. Tomorrow the emojis will be placed down there. Like I said, it's a super chat. There's a thanks button you can use to drop the love here. Of course, you can jump into the membership and join it like 808 Cowboy. Much love to him. Legion of Doom. Woo. He's repping it in the Navy Blue crew, jumping on his own. No gift and membership for him, but there's also gifting memberships. Like I said, Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Justin D. They given this week, but Skeptical Fan's trying to go back to back, baby. Much love to him. Yes, there's a lot of different ways to drop the love. We'll talk about 4 other ways in a minute in the Cash App kind of side, the King side. But first, Brandon James, much love to him. He dropped that $10 holler.
Ooh, thank you, Brandon.
And
You know what he had to say?
I know he takes Jason Renfro to 80 points on
Yes,
that drop.
does.
What did Brandon James have to say, baby?
I am going to go to a Jets game against the Dolphins, Week 12. And the Kansas City Chiefs are now 6-1. Eagles 6-1. Patrick Mahomes is too good.
He is great. He's a great quarterback.
The thing about Patrick Mahomes, and I kind of jokingly said it to Mr. MCF earlier today, I'm like, you know what? You can throw a few picks when you have a few rings, right? And not just that, but you can throw a few picks when you're still out there winning games and still out there, looking good and looking consistent. So, but yeah, so thank you again, Brandon James. And hey, enjoy yourself out there at those games. Even though it's not the Cowboys, I'm sure it's going to be a fun experience. So hopefully that high-powered offense shows up for that.
It'll be fun. You know what's more fun? Watching the Cowboys beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That's what I want to see.
Hell to the yeah. So, and of course, guys, remember, the trade deadline is coming up. And
it's on Halloween, actually.
Nary a peep from the Cowboys yet. So, again, we'll have to see if they do end up doing something. But just kind of updating you guys that, still nothing. Obviously,
nothing
Sunday
on
night.
The horizon there.
I don't think even Jerry's up there doing deals now. So, old man's got to sleep.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, like you were saying, baby, shouting out the people. Now, Jason Renfro's repping it, 80 points.
Yes, but I was also saying that the ways of dropping the love, right? There's you see Snug X got that Cash App crown on him. We had Voodoo Alpha dropping the Cash App the other day. How else can people support the channel outside of the super chat, the thanks, the gifting memberships, jumping in the memberships? There's 4 other Cash App ways you can do that.
Cash App, money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and of course the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat. So, again, shout out to everyone there on the leaderboard supporting the board.
And also
make sure to put your little party hats on, guys.
Yeah, little birthday weekend finale here as well for the wife. But I also wanted to shout out, and maybe you can do that shout out. I was going to say the membership, but you can see the man Jason Renfro trying to make a run at the top spot.
One of our star level members showing the love by gifting a navy blue. So yes, guys, we have shout out to Raul. Congrats to you. Appreciate you.
Yes, by the way, that puts Jason Renfro in second place all by himself on the gifting board behind Skeptical Fan, who's got 3. Jason's got 2. Justin's got 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Skeptical Fan still in first, but Jason Renfro right there. And Jason Renfro right now in third place on the overall board, coming for the lunatic spot. In second, possibly. Maybe Jason's coming for the takeover? Not sure.
We'll have to see.
I got a couple shout outs to do here as well, maybe on my side. But first, let everybody know how, who's in the house. And I guess you can do the shout outs, right? Kicking it off tonight.
Shout out to Scorpio in the house. What's up? Xavier Hidalgo saying it's all good. We already won a World Series because, yes, he is talking a little bit of baseball there. Yes, the Astros definitely choked. So,
yeah, it's 3-3 by the way.
Xavier is an Astros fan.
3-3 by the way, which I'm going for the Rangers. So that's a good deal right there. Yeah.
Mike Aldana, much love, saying National Tight End Day. But who really cares? Well, they
skipped us this week. Right?
Yeah, we didn't get to celebrate this year, so I guess our ends are not tight. Metalbird Cowboy fan, what's up? Much love. Yeah. If Lee Side Harold makes an appearance, I don't think he's brave enough tonight. Of course, Raul, shout out to you. Jason Renfro representing.
Yeah.
We have Raymond Solis in the house. What's up? Retro Scotty, thanks for coming through. Choctaw Montana 808 representing.
Hell yeah.
Let me see. Tornado, what's up? And yes, we handled that little Discord situation. Brandon James KC, of course. We have...
Well, you said Jason Renfro, right?
Yeah.
He dropped $1 holler in the Cash App, and he said, "Go Cowboys."
Ooh, thank you, Jason.
Jason's on the board, so is Voodoo on the board, but somebody else on the board. Still Snug X is leading it for 11 weeks in a row, but there's a man who's on the board now, and his name is Stanny.
Woo, Stanny. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. What's up?
Appreciate you. Go Cowboys. And, hey, he dropped a $10 holler.
Ooh, Cooper Rush style.
Yeah, I'm getting him on the board as we
Maybe it's
speak.
backup quarterback day.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're gonna talk about everything today.
The whole National Tight End Day thing,
yeah.
I heard it so many times today from the announcers.
It's funny, though. A lot of tight ends did actually really well today.
Yeah,
they
so
did. We didn't have a chance to show Ferguson. I'm going to talk about Ferguson, though, on National Tight End Day, and why he's maybe easily a top 10 tight end in the NFL. I'll explain why, and I'll show you the proof shortly.
Oh, yeah, Cactus G
much
in
love,
the place to be.
Much love, Stanny, in the house.
Yeah. So let's see. And Boogie representing, of course. Mike Aldana, much love. Asmodeus. Yeah, they're definitely wearing egg on their faces. So let's see. Who else is here? El Cool. Already cool, you know. Double R, what's up? David Lara, much love. Clark motherfucking Kent. We have, who else? BB13, what's up? Gabi. Hopefully I said that right. El Fuego 2.0, much love to you.
On fire.
C Bass in the house. Let me see. I can't go back any farther, so let me come back down here. And yeah, I think that's everyone. Redman R, what's up? Much love. Appreciate the little birthday love there. But yes, besides my birthday, there's actual cowboy things to talk about, right? So let's go ahead, hand it on over to Mr. MCF so that we can start kicking things off. But yes, obviously today, the easiest way to win the bye week, guys, it's two ways. One, Cowboy players aren't up to any dumb shit, and thankfully we have no arrests to report as of Sunday night. So yes, we somehow got through it. We're good. We're fine, right? I guess Sam Williams stayed home this weekend.
So far, knocking on wood. So far, so good. No,
look, jokes aside, yes, guys. Usually this is typically a time where we do see a lot of our Cowboy players maybe fall into bad situations. So it is nice to hear that nothing of that kind has happened. And two, yes, even though the Eagles unfortunately won, two of the other three teams did what they were supposed to do, in the sense that we were kind of hoping that Washington would get taken down a notch, and that the Giants, you know, I'm just saying, like...
Well, the Giants are the one that took them down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, out
so
of that scenario, that also, better off.
There's also the Lions also, you know. The Lions are a big one, who are in front of us in that first place run.
Yeah, them taking a loss actually does help us when it comes to all of our playoff race situations.
Yes. Yeah,
I guess technically Atlanta winning helps us a little bit too, or at least keeps things.
It means Atlanta's now like the leader in the South. That'd be our opponent if we're looking at that.
But we're so still a ways away. But it keeps things at least a little bit more neutral over there in the NFC South. So outside of that, though, of course, you know, a few other things happened today in the NFL.
Yeah, let me say one of them.
Letting you prepare yourself.
Let me just say one that just happened right now. Jason Renfro dropped a $1.60 holler.
Ooh,
and to go Cowboys. In the Cash App side of things, he's creeping and crawling up that board.
Again, Jason.
Slowly but surely, he's trying to catch that lunatic. He's in third. He's trying to get the second one, pass up the lunatic. We'll see what happens. Much love, Jason Renfro. Appreciate you, and go Cowboys. Now, let me start off actually with some stuff here. I guess you could say this is start off with almost Cowboy Direct news here. So, when I look at the disciplinary situation from last week, the Cowboys were in a fight out there with a couple of the Chargers players.
Yeah.
And the NFL. Why
don't you exit out and go back in it?
What do you mean?
No, just say.
Exit out of this?
Yeah. Just literally hop out and hop back in.
All right. I'm sorry. I want to make my guy jump. Is he jumping now?
Let me see.
Should be. Yeah, he's jumping now.
You're good.
Now he's jumping. There he goes. Good. Yep. We're good. Now I'm alive now. Thank you, baby. I'm VTubing here. She's the VTube expert. If you guys, I'm not gonna say go check her. She got her own channel over there on Twitch. So, but anyways, again, the Cowboys. I had said I was afraid maybe somebody gets disciplined. I mean, fines, whatever.
True, after the fight,
Sam Williams, Fowler, and others were out there boxing and fighting and punching before the game started against the Chargers. The NFL did not discipline any of the players. Any players in that Chargers-Cowboy pregame scuffle. And also, remember the Niners and the Browns also had one as well. But the NFL today sent a memo to every team in the NFL that they're going to be, with any kind of conduct that you kind of fuck up before a game, they're going to be watching that pregame and the pregame warm-ups. That's going to be, they changed a couple of the rules here.
So basically, you weren't going to get in trouble for it before, but now that so many situations have happened, the NFL is watching, and if you take one little toe out of line, you're going to get your wrist slapped.
Last week, again, with these instances, it's kind of opened the eyes for the NFL. It's like, hey, you know what? We're going to have to throw down the law here. Because it looks like, they said they want. It's about sportsmanship. It's about respect, which is the NFL is saying is the core of NFL football. So of course, they're protecting the shield and fighting according to in this statement sent out to all the teams. Quote is irreconcilable with these values. Again, values of sportsmanship and respect. 3 key points they made. Teams must warm up now within their own 40 to 45 yard line. Can't be overstepping each other. We've had issues with the Niners in the past. Mm-hmm. Pre-game kicks and they walk in front of our guys. That's going to result in a penalty or some kind of issue. Players can be disqualified for actions that happen pre-game. like Sam Williams could have been thrown out of that game, or I'm sorry, Dante Fowler could have been thrown out of that game for throwing a punch.
Fowler was the punchiest.
He punched that Eckler in the helmet, knocked his helmet off. Video will now also be used to determine if pregame actions warrant any kind of discipline after the fact. Yeah, okay, and they're talking about again, pregame you can get suspended, but also
post-game you can be
fines and other suspensions. So that happened once, and I was afraid of that happening to us, like the fines and suspensions. Now they've set it in stone. They didn't have it in stone. Now they got it in stone. Clark, motherfucking Kent in the house with that 5 on it.
Woo!
Where's the man?
Clark.
West Coast style have to say, baby.
MCF, tell me why Big Mac finally found out Dak's best attribute? Once he's on that bootleg, he's deadly accurate on passes. He's a dual threat quarterback, bro.
Agreed.
I'm going to say what I've said before. When you are a quarterback, you have a quarterback mentality. And when you're running an offense, I think McCarthy has, especially with the Kellen Moore being on the team and things like that, I just think that we really fell into the mindset of don't run Dak. Obviously, the injury plays a factor into that. Obviously, the contract plays a factor into it. It wasn't like just one single thing that made us stop running Dak. But the biggest thing here is, and we kind of saw it, Dak himself just kept continuously choosing not to run in moments where he should have. And I feel like the second that he mentally decided to start running again, it was like McCarthy himself said, oh, wait, that's right, Dak can run. We can move Dak. And from there, we started to see the little baby steps, at least from, like you said, Big Mac's side, that he remembers that Dak should be moving more. So, again, that's one of the things that we saw some progress in after that really unfortunate Niners situation and all that, and even the Cardinals, because that was, another time where that was happening. But the point is, continuous progress on the offense. We won't get any progress if we don't start moving Dak around.
And I
keep using that specifically, moving Dak around, because I do mean that in the sense of being more mobile in the pocket or just actually running Dak.
Listen, I agree. But let me say something. I agree with you on that. But let me say something. I got to stress this. Listening to what we said this week, you had read some quotes from Dak, from McCarthy. McCarthy said after the game, and in his press conference before the break, he said multiple times, Dak Prescott started to run. He goes, that excited me. That got me very. So what?
Dak running got him going.
No, but here's the thing. I think it was Dak said it in his press conference speech. Maybe we should look it back up for maybe maybe in the future, right? But I know we have this in our own channel here, so you go back and check it. Dak Prescott said, "I just finally decided to run," and the coach was really happy. I think Dak finally got out of his shell, and I thought it was the coaches. You can go back before those comments after this game. I've been saying it for years. It's the coaches holding Dak back since his injury. It's Jerry Jones holding him Dak back, and maybe that's part of it. It sounds though now it's more like Dak is finally more confident and now wants to use his mobility more often. Again, and he sees it's actually
you can't blame McCarthy
something.
Necessarily for not scheming runs if when you run Dak it looks lackluster, right? So if Dak's mindset is obviously more into, I can run, I should run, let me go run, I think that's where McCarthy maybe feels more comfortable scheming more of those plays as well. It's a weird chicken egg scenario because I said, it's not like...
According to McCarthy, before the season even started, he wanted Dak to do more of that. And that's McCarthy's thought, and I haven't seen Dak do it. I think that's more on Dak than McCarthy on this one. And I hate saying that, like I've always said to coaches, but it seems that this has been Dak a little bit, like the whole time it's been kind of Dak with the influence from Jerry Jones. And then, hey, we don't want our guy running, a $40 million guy running the ball and getting hurt too much.
But you know the weird part, though? Let's rewind it all the way to preseason where Dak called that game. I mean, it's not like he was afraid of using Will Grier in a mobile way either. So that's the part that's so crazy. Like, at least in Dak's offensive coordinating mindset, you have a mobile quarterback, you fucking use him. And it's not like he overran him either. He just used him strategically a few times.
And he let Will Grier grasp the offense. And I think maybe McCarthy finally is letting Dak grasp the offense, but maybe Dak is pulling away.
I'm not a Dak fan, but he's on that Hurts level, maybe better when he's on the bootleg.
Clark Kent, you guy MCF has been saying that for a while. Use Dak to his best abilities, and you'll get a better Dak. Use more motion, you get a better offense. So these are things you have to do, and the Cowboys have not done a lot of this to help the offense, and I include Dak, of course, in that. So you got to get help there, but I think Dak... If it's on Dak, if this is truly, again, I'm going by the quotes of this weekend, not this weekend, but last weekend on Tuesday after the game, and Dak's just like, I finally took it upon myself to run, and McCarthy's like, I'm so happy he's finally running. It sounds like Dak was the one holding back a little bit on the running more than anybody else.
Again,
at least at this point,
you can't really blame Dak.
Maybe the first couple of years it was Jerry Jones and Kellen Moore, but now it sounds Dak was like the one holding back, and Mike McCarthy wanted him to run more. That's what it feels like.
Mike, I agree. Dak's too in his own head. I think that injury
That's the thing.
really shocked him because, again, it wasn't even a contact injury. It wasn't like someone like cracked his leg or anything. Yeah. He slid on it wrong.
Yeah,
basically.
He got fell on. He got fell on by the Giants player. He cracked his leg.
Thought he slid on it.
No,
am I misremembering?
Yeah, I don't think you can misremember that. It was gruesome. Yes, the Giant player did that. Almost the hip thing that happened to Tony Pollard, similar to that, where he tackled him. And I think it was Dory Jackson. I don't know. Look, the point is, Dak. I agree with Mike Aldana. He's in his head when it comes to the running stuff. Like, he's been taught so long, like the last couple of years, to stay in the pocket, don't run again. That's what I'm trying to say. It's Kellen Moore, maybe Jerry Jones telling Kellen Moore this is the way we need it to be. Maybe Dak saying also he's scared to run. I don't know. But this was the first game. The Charger game was when Dak was out of his pocket brainwash. You know what I'm saying?
Monroe Godet said, that the Giant player put his weight on Dak.
Exactly. That is... And I'm just saying, I think that I do agree with Mike Aldana that Dak is too much in his head. You see him second guessing the throws, the throwaways, when he's going to scramble, when he's going to hit the hole to run. He always holds back a little low. Even in that play where he broke it, I think he got sacked on one play. He stopped he pocketed himself like 5 yards to the right. I mean, and then he got sacked from behind. I'm saying that's the kind of shit that he second guessed himself a lot out there ever since that injury. There's been a lot more obvious second guessing. I think Dak will get better at that. But it's still there. We're seeing this, and I think that's some of the. That's why I say it's on McCarthy somewhat. It's on Dak somewhat to run that ball more. So that's my good question. Good comment there by Clark Kent in the house. Let's get back to other comments here, right? Other thoughts that happen to the Cowboys or Cowboy relevant, like the Niners. Of course, I hate saying it's relevant because it's not. We got to win our games. F the rest. But tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, it's the Niners versus the Vikings. And 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan told reporters that Deebo Samuel dealing with a hairline fracture in his shoulder. He's going to be out. He's declared out for this game against the Vikings tomorrow. And he's out for next week's game as well. So Deebo Samuel missing 2 weeks. Every game is important. You never know, right? So, again, this is what we say. You got to wait the season, let it play out because teams will have players come and go on all sides. Us, the Niners, the Eagles, and it's going to be, things will change constantly. So it's who can stay more consistent for the whole year. Now, Deebo Samuel's going to miss games in Minnesota and then, at Minnesota and then home against the Bengals. The Niners have a bye week in week 9, and then he's supposed to have a chance to come back week 10 at Jacksonville. Not an easy game either. So again, Deebo will be out 2 weeks. The third week is a bye, and then Jacksonville should have a chance to play that game. And then you look at McCaffrey, right? Christian McCaffrey, who'd been hurt with that oblique. I think he had an oblique injury. He was questionable for the game against the Vikings. Today, Shanahan said that he's going to play. So good for them. They're going to go full blast there. McCaffrey should get some snaps in this game. Niners offensive tackle who's been banged up as well. Trent Williams, doubtful for the game tomorrow against the Vikings. So that should be one to keep an eye on. I think the Niners will win. They got to overcome the injury issues like we did, right? So we'll see if they can hang on that side of things. Now tonight, that's a lot of us are mad. I'd say mad. I don't really give two shits really. It's just we got to worry about the Cowboys winning. But the Eagles, could they have taken an L against the Dolphins today at home? Yeah, they could have. The Eagles today, we talked about Julio Jones getting signed, immediately put him on the field, number 80 now, wearing the jersey for the Eagles. And there were Kelly Green. Is that Kelly Green jerseys? Julio Jones, their 80s jerseys. Julio Jones was on the field. He was on the practice squad, and he was elevated for the Eagles in this game. Played today. At least was supposed to, got some snaps in the field. Now, A.J. Brown is, the dazzler on the field today. The Eagles did beat the Dolphins in Sunday night showdown between two 5-1 teams. A.J. Brown caught 10 damn passes for 137 yards and a touchdown to help the Dolphins go to 6-1, take down help the Eagles go to 6-1, taking down the Dolphins. The Eagles beat the Dolphins, a good team. They are a very good team than the Dolphins, 31-17. It's closer than it was, 17-17 there in the fourth, but they pulled away on Sunday Night Football at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly.
Although, like Seabass said, Hurts has 7 picks so far this year.
I think 8. I think he has 8 picks now.
True.
So I'm gonna say that's the most in the NFL. But they're still winning. They're 6-1, so people are gonna forgive that, and they should. I guess you can. The pick tonight wasn't even like it was his fault, but it was dumb luck. It was
like
a pick six. It was a pick six. But
forgiving those types of things is a lot easier when you have such a winning record and a strong team.
Hey, they were in the Super Bowl last year. They lost. They got there. Something we haven't done. We haven't got to the championship game in the NFC in 27 plus years. So, yeah. So, anyways, the A.J. Brown, 125 plus receiving yards in 5 straight games. A guy we're going to have to shut down. Gilmore, Bland, who's going to do it? Someone's going to step up for us in a couple of weeks. Going to have to do it. That's tied for the longest streak in NFL history. Getting 125 yards in 5 straight games. That's crazy, guys. He's going to get a chance to do it one more time next week and break that record. The result improves the Eagles 6-1. The Dolphins drop to 5-2. NFL-wise, a lot of different things going on. Of course, our next opponent, the Los Angeles Rams. And maybe who's going to be at that game?
Maybe us. Maybe us? Yes, guys. We are taking the kids to their very first NFL game and, of course, their very first Dallas Cowboy game. Yeah. The only way to, kick off their NFL experience, right? So can't wait to be able to be in AT&T Stadium with our kids. They're old enough to not just experience and appreciate it, but really understand the game, I think, at a much deeper level than even just a handful of years ago. So I'm really excited to be able to do that with them, all of us together.
Right time for this.
And of course, remember, guys, every game we've ever been to,
don't you?
I'm not going to say it. I'm just saying you guys know what happens every time we go to a game.
It's always good things. Well, we need good things this week. Now, look, this week as in this upcoming week, the Rams, in case you didn't know, this happened yesterday. They placed Kyron Williams on injury reserve because of that ankle injury. The crazy thing is that he was not supposed to be put on IR. They said he'll be back in a couple of weeks. Now he's out for at least 4 weeks. With the other running back, who's also out 4 weeks, both of them on IR. Williams now eligible to return in Week 12 at Arizona for the Rams. And then they have to make an accompanying roster move. Rams promoted running back Darrell Henderson, who's a little ball of fury there. They promoted him running back off the practice squad, and I'm assuming they elevated him. Maybe they put him in the 53. Either way, Darrell Henderson played today against the Steelers. He played well. He played when they used him. He was bowling over guys. So we got to watch. Darrell Henderson. There's going to be a couple other guys there. Rookie. We talked about the crop of guys in there. Miles Gaskin is going to add him. So we'll be seeing those guys for the Rams. But again, when you look at the Rams game, I want to make sure we bring it up. I'll start talking about some of the games today. Okay. Give me your 2 cents on this, baby. But the Rams played the Steelers. Rams were at home. SoFi Stadium. I know we had our picks. I'm the only one in our family that picked the Steelers. Well, I guess MC Grandma did. MCF Grandma. But the point is that the Steelers,
motherfuckers.
When you have a team like the Steelers, the Niners, the Cowboys, any big team with the Packers, their fans will travel. If you're going to the Rams game or a Chargers game and you're in their home, you're going to win, probably. You're going to have home field advantage. That's why I picked the Steelers, and that's why the Steelers won. So, listen, Rams showed a lot of inconsistencies. They showed a lot of issues. Listen, they got Stafford in there to not play a good game, but, he will be throwing the ball a lot. They're not going to have a big running game. They're, of course, going to use Cooper Kupp. And they got that other guy, what's his name, Nuaka, the undrafted free agent. He's got like 60 catches already.
Nuoka or something?
Yeah, he is. He's going to be somebody to keep an eye on in this game.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name, though.
Somebody will say in the chat. And again, we got to keep an eye on this team. Defensively, they're pretty damn good. Solid with Aaron Donald in the middle, but they're not the strongest everywhere else. So I think there's a chance that we can control this game against the Rams. It's not even a first look. There's not even a quick peek. That starts tomorrow. Remember, this is going to be an altered week, guys. We're going to be, again, missing a couple days. It's going to be a little bit different. Sometimes our streams are going to be off our phone. So keep in mind, this week we're going to be in Dallas for a couple of days before even the game. So the streaming might be a little bit more difficult, but we're going to do our best, as we always do. We're in New York. We're in Amsterdam. We're in, all over the United States, and we will go live wherever we are.
Forget Pitbull. MCF is Mr. Worldwide.
So we do try to always stream for you guys whenever we can, wherever we can. So again, on this venture, we're leaving out there. Wednesday will be our last stream, a normal stream, and then we're back to on the road with MCF as we get all the way down to Dallas and have a nice day, a couple tour days, and then game day. Can't wait.
No, his name is Puka.
Puka? His first name is Puka.
Yeah.
Puka Nauka or something like this. It's
Puka Nuka?
Yeah. Puka Nuka. he's the guy that you got to kind of watch him a little bit. He's definitely been playing out of his world. So anyways, that's the coming. We're going to take a big deeper look at these Rams, and we're going to start tomorrow, probably an earlier look at these Rams to try to, the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, kicking off a new week. Because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to have a little quicker streams. You got to join us at the right time so we can discuss it with you guys. We'll be in the heart of Texas there, Big D, representing that star. I'm excited. So that's the Rams game against the Steelers. I'm going late games here. Packers, who again came back up by 1 against the Broncos, blew it at the end. Broncos won 19-17. Again, the Packers in the NFC, they had 2 wins. I think now 3 wins. I don't know, 2 or 3 wins. The Broncos had 1. Broncos were able to get that win. They're not that good of a team. What did he say? Ride? What did he say? What Russell Wilson?
Let's ride.
Let's ride. Let's ride. They're riding a ride. But hey, they rode over the Packers, which, again, if you look at the NFC, AFC situation, fuck it, I'll take it. Knock down one of these other teams. Make it harder for any team to try to make a challenge for us to knock us out of the playoffs. You don't want that happening. I want the Cowboys in the playoffs. And it's a new season. You never fucking know. Even though, like I said, if we don't improve on offense and defense, certain things, we all know what to expect. Chargers and Chiefs, it was Kelsey, Taylor Swift. You had Mahomes and his wife. His wife was out there dancing with Taylor Swift today. They were doing choreographed dances. And that got most of the views there. But either way, the Chiefs beat the Chargers. Kellen Moore's offense. Guys.
Can you imagine playing a whole ass football game and, just your girlfriend dancing in the stands gets more attention?
Kelsey was banging the ground a couple of times. That's all I saw.
Doing something here.
But I'll get back to that game in a minute because Justin Herbert, we got to talk about him after last week's loss to us and then this week's loss to the Chiefs. Very important factors there to discuss about quarterback. Is Dak really that bad? The haters really right about Dak? We'll talk about it. Let me get back to that. We have another late game. Cardinals at the Seahawks. Seahawks won 20-10. One of our future opponents, the Seahawks. Of course, the Cardinals beat us, but I think we played them 99 times. Out of 100 times, I think we beat them 99. They just got us that one day. The Seahawks, though, they come in a couple of weeks, and next month. Let me put it that way. I think doing that after Thanksgiving game, they're not going to be an easy team, but they're not going to be a team that we should lose to when it comes to the Seahawks. Not what I saw today. And then the earlier games, again, Lions, that's the big one to me. The Lions got 6 points against the Ravens. And that was just extra gimme points at the end there, while the Ravens scored 38 against the Detroit Lions. And again, that's why even though I think the Lions are a good team, I think they're the 4th team in the NFC. Some people are putting them over the Cowboys. I might have said that. But what I'm thinking is this: the Lions are still too young to be trusted like that. Even we have more experience than the Lions. So I think that they'll be easy to fold. They can have a good game here and there. They might upset a couple of teams like they did with the Chiefs. But eventually in the playoffs, someone will beat them when it comes to the Lions. I think we can do it, but I also think that they have the best chance of the teams that are not the top 2. And it's us. And after that, they have the next best chance to defeating us. So, but I do like the fact that they took the L. Why do I say that? Because, again, in the end, when we're looking for that bye week, all you want to do is have a chance to get that bye week.
Of course.
And that home field throughout the playoffs. And look, the Lions can't be the team. We got to hope to take a loss at the end of the year. So good. I'm glad they took a loss now against the Ravens. The Bucks, like you said, maybe
this makes things easier at the end of the season.
Yeah. The Bucks had a half-game lead on the Falcons. Now the Falcons have a half-game lead on the Bucks. Whatever. It's like musical chairs. If we are the 5th seed this year, which would be what would happen if we don't win the division, we'll be playing the team in the 4th seed, which would be the NFC South, which would be the Falcons, the Bucks, the Panthers, or the Saints. And
obviously a much more favorable matchup, I think.
Well, that's the whole reasoning. The seeding is placed that way. The 4th best division winner plays the best wild card team, and that'd be us. I'm assuming that'd be us right now. As of now, it would be us, and we play, I think, the Falcons, Saints, Panthers, and the Bucks are right now on the outside.
Yeah,
looking in.
I have to admit that if we don't get one of these teams to step it up even a tiny bit in these next few weeks, the Eagles seem like they're going to, win the division relatively quickly here. So
Cowboys got to keep in step with them. And the big thing is this, baby. We win next week.
We're not falling behind, at least.
The Eagles are going to have some tough games. We talked about it. They beat a tough team today.
That's why I said that. These next few weeks count a lot because this was the first of their next handful of games of tough. Yeah, their tough stretch here.
That's the thing, though. We're part of that tough stretch for them, and it's our own tough. Listen, if the Cowboys,
we got to do our part.
If the Cowboys can get a win against the Rams, and the Eagles, I don't care if they win or not. Let's say they beat the team they play. Or they lose. But if they beat the team they play, they're what? They're 6-1, and we're what? 5-2. I'm just trying to say, like, we beat the Eagles, we're better than them. That's all that has to happen. I'm saying if we beat the Rams and if they win their game, I know they have a half game on us anyways. I get it, but basically when we play it out and they get their bye, we got to win our week, and we'll be better than the Eagles. As simple as that. So we still control the NFC East destiny. Don't fool yourselves on that. We still got control of that. So I'm not worried about the Eagles. I'm worried about the Cowboys. Got to win our own fucking games. But I'll take the Lions taking a loss. I'll take the Niners have they have a bye week this one. They play tomorrow. So again, I'm saying I'll take those things. Now again, NFC South, Falcons and Bucks. Like I told you, the Falcons won 16-13 in Tampa Bay. They're both very easily beatable, I think, by any of the teams that will be in front of them. So just the way it is now. NFC East battle there. Commanders at the Giants. What a badly played game. I saw. Who was the guy after the game getting real pissed with the Washington Commanders?
It's basically a race to the bottom. But
yeah, but he was like furious that they played so poorly against the Giants, and I would be too. It's embarrassing. He said, "I've been here." I think it was Payne. Was it? I don't know. Well, he's got one of their guys in the defensive lineman for the Washington Commanders was like, "I'm sick of this shit. I'm here for 7 years or 9 years, and I'm still dealing with this shit here." Like, he wants to get the fuck out. So they lost 14-7 against the Giants, who didn't have Daniel Jones. They won with Tyrod Taylor, and he looked good out there. It was mobile. Daniel Jones looks like a giraffe, and he hurt his neck. So, Barkley had a nice touchdown. So, just look, against each other, they look good. The Giants look good when they have playing a shitty team. We should stomp their asses out. Both these teams should be stomped out. Sam Howell, number one guy, he's so better than Dak Prescott. Motherfuckers throwing picks left and right. Please, don't talk to us with a guy who's had a couple good weeks. All right? Dak's had a couple damn good years. Anyways, back on the list here, a couple more games. The Vegas Raiders couldn't beat the Bears in Chicago. Bears, I think, got there was a second win of the season there, 30-12 against the Vegas Raiders, who they were both missing their quarterbacks. It was a battle of backup and third string quarterbacks. Whatever. we play these teams, we whip their ass. Or should whip their ass. Let me put it that. Now, big upset today. You talk about one of the bigger upsets. Everyone's talking about cutting Bill Belichick. Today when the day started, the Patriots said, hell no, we're not thinking of letting him go. Hell no. And then they went in there and they beat the Bills in New England 29-25. Again, the Bills look suspect on offense and defense. Offense and defense, guys. This is one of the better defenses. You had Josh Allen in there getting paid shitloads of money. No one's talking shit about his abilities. Man, he lost to the Jets, looked horrible. We beat the Jets, and Dak looked pretty fucking efficient.
Right.
I'm just saying. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Colts and Browns. This is a nonstop scoring game. The damn Colts looked like the goddamn Ravens in blue. It was a weird-looking game. But the Browns pulled it out. Myles Garrett, the block kick, and recovered. It was just a crazy game. 39-38, Browns sucked it out in the end there. All these teams are below average in my mind. When you look at that star, we have a team that's better than all these teams, most of these teams. But still, we have to do our part. So after all this here, I guess, like you could say, all the good, bad, and ugly, I want to end it with one last thing that's going to lead us to the Cowboys here, and that's that Chargers loss to the Chiefs, 31-17. The Chiefs took the win there, but the Chargers took another L. What are they, 2-4 now? 2-4 is what they are. And guys, Justin Herbert threw his second interception of the game that kind of ended the game. It was in the fourth quarter. Just so you guys know, the defense allowed 0 points in the second half. Pretty sure. Maybe not. Maybe they actually did. I think they did allow some points in the second half. But the point
is that in the second half, the defense did.
They played a lot better. Another game that the offense keeps giving up the points. The Herbert and the scheme is not working. Kellen Moore was supposed to make the Chargers offense go to the next level. What happened? Everyone's talking about tough shit there about Kellen Moore is the greatest thing. With the Chargers because they're number 1 ranked. They're the number 5 ranked offense. Bullshit. They're crap. We know about the hollow offensive stats. We saw it with Kellen Moore's offense in Dallas.
And now
you're seeing it now with Herbert.
Honestly, even faster with Herbert. There was no hiding behind, wins or hiding behind just skating by, right? Like, they're not just skating by. They're falling short almost every time.
Yeah, they 2-4. 2-4 at the high-flying offense, and their defense the last couple of weeks been playing damn good, right? They only allowed us 20 points. So
I agree.
I'm just saying, Their defense keeping them in the games the last couple of weeks. Kellen Moore's offense, not getting it done. I wonder why. Are they getting figured out? Are they realizing it's the same fucking plays? There's no adjustment?
Maybe Herbert sucks not bad?
I don't know about that, but he has sucked as well. And you were good point about that, because right now, listen, he has 4 interceptions this year. After this game, he has 4 picks.
That's not that many, all things considered.
You know who else has 4 picks? Dak Prescott. Now, that's Justin Herbert, who's getting paid $13 million more than Dak. But what about other guys? Josh Allen getting paid a lot more than Dak. Josh Allen has 7 interceptions thrown. The only guy who's thrown more interceptions than him, newly paid Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has 8 interceptions. Josh Allen has thrown 7. Patrick Mahomes has thrown at least 6. Justin Fields has thrown at least, he's thrown 6 and he's been missing 2 games. Daniel Jones missed 2 games or missed a game and a half. He's thrown 6 interceptions as well. Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl winner. 5 interceptions for him this year so far. Tua had 5. How many more did he throw this game? Yeah, a couple more, right? He's got like 6 or 7 as well. Jared Goff has thrown 5. Kirk Cousins has thrown 4 with Joe Burrow, with Justin Herbert, and with Dak Prescott. Everyone's bitching about Dak. I told you. Yeah, again, Dak, if he's going to get in the same offense as last year, might throw 14, 15, 16 picks, forcing into triple teams that he has to do because of Kellen Moore. But again, you can get something in between that and whatever fucking Mark McCarthy is doing right now, throwing these 3-yard hitches, slants, and quick passes and screens to the receivers. If you do that all the time, all game, you're not going to throw picks, but you're not going to do much on offense, right?
Hurts has a fumbling issue too.
Yep. I mean, so does Josh Allen, Daniel Jones. I'm just saying, these guys.
Dak forgets to throw the ball away issue.
Yeah, Dak,
if you want to talk about the biggest thing there, that's been his biggest struggle this year.
Is Dak forgetting that he can throw the ball away, getting away from the sack issue is the big Dak issue, and that's should be fixable by year 8 already.
Again, we saw a little bit of progress there in this past game, but at the same time, we also just got really lucky that he broke out of like 2 sacks that should have been counted. You know what I mean? Like, if they had counted it and he hadn't gotten out of it, that means Dak would have taken like 3-4 sacks.
Yeah. And Dak saved us not just getting out of the sacks, but getting big plays off those sacks.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. Justin Herbert, another thing, people got to remember, Josh Allen having issues. Hurts got him to the Super Bowl, but still having issues, even though they won. I'm not saying he had a good game, but saying they're throwing interceptions, they're making mistakes, they have fumbling issues. Herbert, in this specific game, he threw an interception in the 4th quarter again. Guys, this guy has thrown like 12 or 13 4th quarter or overtime interceptions. It's number 1 since he came in the league.
I was just about to say, the fact that he has 4 picks is not that bad.
Right.
The fact that basically all 4 picks cost.
Well, one of them was in the red zone for So I will say,
the fact that basically almost all the picks were like game changing or game impacting.
It was in the red zone. It was in the red zone to tie the game against the Chiefs, and it got tipped in the air. So I don't really put that on him as much. But it got tipped in the air, got picked in a vital moment. You can't afford to have those mistakes. Same thing happens for 4th quarter, trying to go deep. They're down 2 touchdowns, and he got picked. So
again, once, maybe. Twice, oh man. But like I said, it's happened now a handful of times.
He's getting paid $12 million more than Dak. And I don't hear anybody bitching about him until today. Now, and let me just say something here. I want to add another thing to this. I'm not here to pick on Justin Herbert or Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, but I want to say one last thing. The best quarterbacks of all time, all right, who have and just look at some of the best quarterbacks of all time and some of the best quarterbacks. I'll say this, not of all time. Let me rephrase that. Of recent years, all right, whether retired a couple of years ago or top of their game now or a legend still now. But the best guys against winning teams, which I will say, guys, isn't that like the biggest thing that's kind of been the a lot of people like to talk shit about, Rain Dakota Prescott when it comes to, he can't win the game. You talk about Justin Herbert. No, he can't win the game. Dak Prescott can win the game. Tom Brady against winning teams, 74 wins, 47 losses. One of the few guys that have a winning percentage. Of course, he was on the side of the winning team most of the time. Russell Wilson, 32 wins, 27 losses. A little over 50%. They're pretty good.
All
Lamar
right.
Jackson, 14 for 14. 14 wins, 14 losses against winning teams. 50%. Jimmy Garoppolo, 13 wins, 10 losses. Small sample size, but he's got a little more of a winning record against winning teams. Aaron Rodgers, 41 and 44. 41 wins, 44 losses against winning teams. A little below average for Aaron Rodgers against good teams. Matt Ryan, 33 wins, 63 losses against winning teams. Talk about a guy who beats easy teams and has trouble against tough teams. What about Dak Prescott? Dak against winning teams, 22 wins, 25 losses. So, again, when you look at that number, 22 wins, 25 losses, that's a little below average. That's like Aaron Rodgers like. You know what I mean, guys? So, Dak Prescott is far from one of the... Again, Jared Goff, 14 wins, 17 losses against winning teams. Jared Goff. Josh Allen, the great Josh Allen, small sample size against winning teams, 12 wins, 15 losses. So, again, kind of Dak-ish, except Dak has played, I don't know, double, triple the games as he has when it comes to these things. So, again, Josh Allen, he does all right against winning teams, kind of like Aaron Rodgers, kind of like Dak Prescott. Like I said, Jared Goff, same thing. Aaron Rodgers in that same... Patrick Mahomes against winning teams, 10 wins, 6 losses. Again, very good. One of the few, but again, very small sample size. And, still not that much better than guys like Russell Wilson, or Jimmy Garoppolo, if you even want to count him. I'm just saying, like Lamar Jackson's right up there. So a lot of these guys, they're not far. There's not many teams that have, not many quarterbacks that have winning records, that have like a over 500% winning percentage against the best teams they've played. Outside, like I said, of Tom Brady, little Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, and even Garoppolo thrown in the mix there. Everybody else is average or below average. And most of them are all below average. Matthew Stafford has 11 wins against winning teams, 72 losses. 72 losses. Kirk Cousins has 10 wins against winning teams, 40 losses. Deshaun Watson has 7 wins against winning teams, 19 losses. Justin Herbert has only 6 wins against winning teams, 10 losses. Kyle Murray, 3 wins against winning teams, 11 losses. And Daniel Jones, also 3 wins and 13 losses. You can talk about the other guys that they have on their team with them. You can talk about the defense was missing a guy. That's why they beat this team, whatever. I don't give a fuck. There's only so much context you can put into it. Sample sizes are smaller for some of than the others, but again, Dak Prescott has a well above average sample size, and he's I would say he's maybe in the top 8 when it comes to winning percentage against winning teams. Of every quarterback, you can say maybe in the last decade or so, in their height, let's say in the last 7 years or so, you definitely can have a long list of guys. And Dak is, right there with them all, pretty much. So, that's kind of the situation there. Give me a second, guys. Let me just figure something out. I got to fix something with the audio. Testing. Test. All right, I think we're good now. Hello? Can you hear me? Let me see. All right, I see you guys in the chat. I think I can see you guys in the chat. Yeah, sorry, I was having an audio issue there. And I think you guys heard everything about Dak Prescott that I had to say. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they said it. Yeah, so it looks like it's all good.
All right. Let me see this. All right, Again, I don't know if you caught the end of that. Maybe I got confused because I got
about Dak's stats, right?
Against winning teams, Against winning teams, Dak is basically top 8 against winning teams. In the NFL, I would say in the last, let's say, 10, 15 years, I don't want. There's no Peyton Manning here or Drew Brees on this list of guys that are in the NFL that either just retired like Tom Brady, or are still in the NFL. I named everybody on this list. Dak's like 6th, 7th, 8th on this list of percentage. How good you can do. It's hard to do good against the best teams, and Dak is one of the best currently right now to do it.
I mean, again, one of the reasons that we love Dak and we hate Dak is because, again, he's not as consistent as I think we would want him to be. But that stat goes to show that, for everyone who does want to crap on him, he does show up in the big games and the big moments when it matters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it is tricky because, as you can see there, he shows up about half the time. Like, more or less half the time.
Yeah, but you look at Aaron Rodgers, you look at...
I know, that's about as consistent as them. I mean, I think that's another reason why I think that right now is one of our best chances to get things done. I mean, this is the most complete that this team has been in a good chunk of time. If we can actually stop getting penalties every other play and get our heads out of our ass, we do have a real shot here to hang. But, we have to get our side done first, right? Dak's forced to win almost all on his own. Exactly, Pioneer. When you force Dak to be in a position where he has to be a Patrick Mahomes or an Aaron Rodgers, you're setting Dak up to fail. Absolutely setting him up to fail. So, that's not the way to win games. So, Seabass said, Dak adopts the NFC East. Be mad. And I don't even like Dak. Yeah, again, makes me also kind of think, again, familiarity obviously helps Dak, because the more that we play these NFC East teams, the more we keep on beating them and beating them and beating them. And even the Eagles, when they were at their best, although technically last year we didn't get to, I think on both sides of the ball, it wasn't exactly the way that either one of us would have liked to win, just because obviously we faced them, we had Cooper Rush, and then the next time they were also missing a good chunk of their players. So, Xavier Hidalgo saying, I say that we draft the quarterback from Texas or Washington to help develop behind Dak. I feel like that's the role that Trey Lance has taken now. So, less so about, trying to go after another quarterback, especially just because right now, if we're going to spend any kind of high-value draft pick, please let it be on offensive line. We can get whatever quarterback we want, but what exactly do you think is going to happen when we have absolutely no one there blocking for him? So, especially now that Zach Martin is joining the list of possibly perpetually injured players, holy shit, man. I can't be the only one looking at the O-line and saying, when are we going to finally do something about it? So, the other kind of part of that is the fact that some of the other guys are also slightly disappointing, like Terrence Steele maybe not playing up to his potential, and of course, got to go all the way to the left. Tyron Smith, we love him, but how much longer are we going to keep playing that game? So I do feel like we're reaching the end there, but the fact that Zach Martin is also getting towards the end there at the same time, it feels like the O-line situation is piling up much faster than we can deal with it. So, rolling back a little, D-Link, much love, saying, Dak has beaten the 49ers twice in the regular season. Aaron Rodgers is 0-4 all time against the Niners in the regular season. Yeah. Again, Aaron Rodgers gets away with a lot of stuff because he won a Super Bowl. Like I said, hardware tends to smooth over a lot of the problems and mistakes there, right? I mean, look at how long the Rams tried to make Jared Goff a thing. Heck, even the Eagles, right? Carson Wentz, they couldn't just give up on Carson Wentz. So, it does get a little tricky. Oh, okay, D-Link, you did mean in the playoffs. So, okay, so yeah. So, obviously, that does change things a little bit then with that comment. Let me roll back a little bit more. I do want to try to touch on a variety of opinions here, right? So, Anthony Robertson said he gets too much. That's all. They're doing too much. Every game the Cowboys play is a Super Bowl. I mean, everyone plays us like it's a Super Bowl, and at least for other teams, they're not all that far off. If you're not making it to the Super Bowl, which obviously not every team does, the Cowboy game is probably the most exposure and the biggest national media attention outside of important division games or things like that a team is going to see. We've heard it now several times, especially from players that weren't maybe brought up organically in the organization as far as being drafted. If you're coming from outside of the team and you're coming to the Cowboys, pretty much every single player says it. It is different with Dallas. You do get more hate, you do get more love, you get more everything. It is just that much bigger. So, let me see here. Pioneer, oh boy. Oh, I think you mean Mozzie Smith? Oh boy. That's an unfortunate typo. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, oh boy, too bad Mr. MCF is handling something right now. That's a good one. Don't worry, Pioneer, we know what you meant. I'm sorry your phone did not. So, Seabass said it. Yep, you just attested to it, because Hurts, quote-unquote, went to a Super Bowl. He gets excuses. And on one hand, I think it's bullshit, right? Because he's appeared in a Super Bowl. Last time I checked, I don't see a ring on that finger. But, on the other hand, we would be dumb to deny that the Eagles clearly are the better team and the more dominant team at this moment. We have not proven that we are more dominant than the Eagles yet. And it is up to us to prove that because of the fact that they were in the Super Bowl, because they were the more recent Super Bowl winners in the last handful of years, because of all the other factors. And yeah, of course, right here, right now, their record. They have the better record than us. They're beating us and winning the division. So, one, we have to keep winning all of our games, like you guys said it. And then, even more importantly, too, when we face the Eagles, we better lay the fucking smackdown on them. No, I'm not expecting some kind of blowout. Of course, I'd be happy if that's the case. But we just have to win the game. That's it. So, let's not get, like, too far. Oh, my God, the Nazi Smiths again. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Okay. You guys are definitely cracking me up. First of all, let me take a quick second to remind everyone to hit like, subscribe, hit the bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Hop in the Discord. Links down below in the description box. Let me try to roll back a little bit more from before that, because I know I saw a few other comments here that tied into that. Let me see. Mike Aldana said, unless you're Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, every Dallas Cowboy quarterback gets shit on. So, yeah, I mean, being a Cowboy quarterback is not for the faint of heart. Again, I do think McCarthy's comments the other day were true, right? Like, I don't think any other quarterback in the league gets the amount of hate that Dak Prescott gets. And that is part of the problem, of course. You know, he can make a small mistake, but that small mistake is going to be amplified so much more than anyone else's mistake. So, it really is up to him to try to play the best that he can, because, well, no one's really going to be giving him any breaks at all, the way that I think other quarterbacks might get a little bit more of a break. So, now D-Link saying here, tomorrow, Hurts will get excuses for his turnovers because the Eagles won. But Dak won a bunch of games last season, even with turnovers, and he was killed for it. Again, I do think that part of it comes down to the consistency and also the one reason I don't think Dak should have gotten as much hate last year for some of those picks is just because when we saw it, off the top of my head, I can't remember the exact number, but it was something like 40% of Dak's picks came off of the hands of one of our receivers. It was some crazy-ass number, but a good chunk of Dak's picks are just because Michael Gallup didn't do his job, or CD didn't do his job, or I don't give a fuck. Everybody didn't do his job. So, thankfully, we're not falling into that pattern. And again, for as much as we're not fans of the McCarthy offensive situation, one thing he is very much focusing and stressing on is ball protection, not turning the ball over, not putting Dak in a situation where he does do that. So, you know, it's all right, right? 90, right? Montana's like 90% of his interceptions. Again, way too goddamn many. The thing about this year, though, pretty much every single one of the picks was fully 100% Rain Dakota Prescott, which, of course, kind of turns it the other way. Again, when you have an offense that's not looking as explosive and dynamic, on top of the fact that you can clearly blame Dak for his picks, it's like, shit, you know, it makes you feel like Dak is doing almost worse than he is, but that's not to say that he's somehow doing amazing or great.
I think he's more in his... he's more like... remember, he helped design this offense. So it's not just all on Mike McCarthy. So this is what Dak felt would be his strengths as well. But I do believe the ability to get out there, run a little bit more, extend the play, the fear of dual threat. That's all you got to do is just show the fear. Show that little dual threat ability to you scare that defense. Guess what happens? They start coming up. They move around. He extends the play. More guys get open. You got Tony Pollard. You got other guys. He's making first downs on third down. That's a Dak Prescott that we all know and love, and we got to play into that. Saying it for years. Do the things that make him special in that way, and you keep doing that, you're going to be the Cowboys to do better as an offense. No matter how much you hate Dak or you love Dak, if you play him the wrong way, you're going to not like Dak. And if you play him the right way, you're going to like Dak, even if you hate him. So
yeah, okay. So thank you, Montana. Like I said, I couldn't remember exactly every single one of Dak's picks, but he said 3 of the picks this year were on Dak, but 1 in the end zone, that was CD.
I'm trying to think which was the one in the end zone. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. Well, no, I think that the one that was against the Cardinals.
Are you sure it was CD? I thought it was another receiver.
I'm trying to think who was the other pick, the Cardinal one, or was it the Niners one? I have to go back and think them through. But usually, it's, he could have had a couple almost.
Okay, so
picks.
you see, so it was CD. Wait, guys, are you sure it wasn't Gallup that you're thinking of that didn't fight hard enough for the penalty flag? Maybe it was CD. Anyway, let me know because I think it was CD because Seabass even said it here. I object. CD didn't run through his route and instead bitched about a penalty flag, acted like a hoe on the sideline another game. Commit. Retire your mind to the suck, embrace the suck, and then persevere. So I think it was CD then, but I do remember a receiver in the end zone. Yes.
Choctaw Montana is saying that he didn't run his right route. I don't know if it was the end zone play. If it was in the end zone, he didn't run his right route. I guess you could put. I know that Dak missed CeeDee Lamb 3 times against the Niners. But then throw the picks there, as far as those misses weren't like picks. But Dak, even if CD ran the wrong route, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of the right.
Cactus Z said the percent sounds worse than it is, but he had about 5 picks last season that were tipped and only 1 so far this year.
Yeah, that's all. Look, the point is that less tips, less chancy throws,
less tips and less picks.
Yeah, but less aggressive. Attacks down the field in triple coverage like Kellen Moore had him doing last year. Was going to lead to more interceptions. This is overly conservative, protecting the ball way too much. Like Dak could be somewhere in the middle of this. There's no question in my mind. Again, that's up to Mike McCarthy. That's why you see in the thumbnail Dak like shoving him off. It's like, come on, let me do my thing here, Dak.
But again, huge shout out to everyone in the chat for that statistical assistance
there.
Because that's what I do forget a lot of like the little nitty-gritty things. I tend to remember more of the general or big picture things. So that's why I always need
you already hit the chat and then the shout outs.
I've been pretty much hanging with the chat here the last few minutes.
That's fantastic, guys. Again, remember, today's the final night of the week. My Cowboys family. So that means we're going to crown some champions here. Snug X trying to go for that 11 in a row. Sponsors, much love to him on the Cash App side. You also got Marco Seppi, our sponsor of the week. Will he go for a month in a row, 4 weeks? I don't know, because right now, Snug X got the overall lead as well. Jason Renfro down to 75 points in the Stream Boss, still running that, and he's right now 1 back on Skeptical Fan for the gifting crown, which Skeptical is trying to go back-to-back. He's in the lead, and he's the big champ last week, so much love to Skeptical Fan on that board as well. I think I hit up all the boards there.
Yeah.
Now let's finish up tonight's live. Again, I'm saying this because we're done with the live stream here in 5 minutes, guys.
Amazing games, much love. Shout out to you, West Coast style.
Game, West Side.
And Xavier, hate to break, burst that bubble, but yeah, I don't think the Cowboys are going to do absolutely anything with this trade deadline.
Yeah, I think
nothing.
We discussed this.
My opinion.
We discussed this the last couple of days when we went live. I'm sure we'll discuss it a couple more times this week. But as of right now, I would not hold my breath that the Cowboys are going to make any moves, especially any kind of blockbuster, big name guys. I don't see that happening at all. Now, what about people are saying, well, what about Derrick Henry? And again, you can make a point for Derrick Henry, but I guarantee you that the Cowboys are already spending the second most at running back. They don't want to be by far the first most at running back, and that's what would happen if we bring in Derrick Henry on the team. So right now, Tony Pollard getting paid like a top 6th most NFL running back pay right now.
Yeah, just to not look stupid, the Cowboys wouldn't get Henry no matter how much they want him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that the asking price is too much. But yeah, when you look at the fact that now we're going to stack the running backs and we're not even using running backs. I mean, let's be real. Most of us, whether you like it or you don't like it, I don't mind the non-use of runs as much, but a lot of people want to see more running, and I understand. See, passing the ball like Kellen Moore did when you didn't have to and you can run the ball is stupid. And when you're up on the Packers by 14 in the fourth, when you're up by 17 or whatever it was against Jacksonville in the third, And you keep throwing the ball and throwing the ball and throwing the ball. That's too much. But look, McCarthy throws the ball a lot because he's setting up the short yardage stuff. That's why, throwing a lot with McCarthy is not as damaging as throwing a lot with Kellen Moore can be, even when you're winning. So I just want to leave it that way. But again, when we throw the ball, what's the big thing, right? I know my guy Montana 808 in the house. I know he loves Ezekiel Elliott. We misused him and we abused him. I'm with him on that. And Jerry Jones is the primary issue on that one. But that's the case. He's worn down. He got a touchdown today. Congrats to him. But he ain't a Cowboy anymore. So Tony Pollard's the guy we got to follow. And Tony Pollard, again, you guys made some great points in our discussions the other day on the call-in show. Montana said that, you can see, Simus said you can see Tony Pollard, breaking down a little sooner, slowing down a little sooner because he's a full-time guy now. So I understand that viewpoint. But I will say this about Tony Pollard, who, again, last year as a pass blocker, pass protect running back, he was much better than Zeke, believe it or not, even though I know that there's, the reliance and the surety that that Zeke is consistent at pass protection. That's been his thing since he was in the league. And he was a fantastic pass protector and still is for Zeke. He was like 23rd last year when it came to pass protection as for running backs. Tony Pollard was second last year. This year, he has the 9th best pass blocking grade in the NFL amongst starting running backs. He has the 5th best pass blocking grade in the entire NFC. And he's the best pass blocking grade as far as running backs in the NFC East. So, number 1 in the East, pass blocking running back, Tony Pollard. He's number 5 in the NFC at pass blocking. And he's number 9 in the NFL at pass blocking for running backs. So, Tony Pollard, his pass blocking skills are not just, they've improved and they are fantastic. They're good. He's right now by the grading system of PFF at a 79.4, a hair away from excellent for him. So great job by him. And in the NFC East, again, number 1, NFC, number 5, NFL, number 9, pass blocker. That has to be at least said, hey, it's not like we have to bring in somebody that can pass block as well. He can do the job. And I've been kind of saying that, he can do it. He's gotten better at it, and he's shown it over, the last couple of years, the improvement of this. So just want to throw that in there as I finish up with the tight end position.
I agree, but we were kind of just saying in the chat real quick, it's still really disappointing because, Montana 808 said it, Pollard was never going to replace Zeke.
Right.
And I personally found it disappointing that knowing and going into this that Pollard wasn't a power back, the Cowboys still kind of, dawdled on figuring out who that power back was going to be. We kept Lipke, and I still feel like we haven't used him enough or properly or really just in combination with Pollard, which is the stranger part to me, right? Like, if Pollard's not a power back, at least give him a little bit of a chance to, be more effective in those power situations by putting the fucking fullback in it. Look, I guess I don't know how to scheme football either, don't I, right? McCarthy, you don't have to call me if you don't want to, but you can. You can. Oh, sorry. It's just very frustrating because it's not like we don't have some of the pieces, even though I still admit that I would like a little bit more at a power back just because, honestly, it's not like we've seen enough from Dowdle either, but I think that comes down more to usage than anything Dowdle has or hasn't done because the few times we've used him, he's looked pretty good, right? Yeah.
No, Dowdle, the Thunder and Lightning they're using is Dowdle and it looked good, but do we need a bigger guy like Henry?
It wouldn't hurt, but that's
it would hurt our draft.
It wouldn't hurt, but
capital.
that ship has sailed. Just because, again, we already chose to invest in Tony Pollard. The fact that we're wasting him and not properly using him has more to do with McCarthy and has nothing to do with anything else. So. But the front office is definitely not spending even a single cent on any kind of back.
I don't think
unless it's a corner back.
Any quick comments on the running back situation in the chat?
So yeah, Mike Aldana said it. TP was never going to be a true number 1 running back, not unless you were going to use him a little bit more in the pass game or just more flexibly. Right?
He was always going to be part of a 1-2 punch.
You know what I mean.
He was going to be a 1-2 punch. He needs the other guy, whether it's a lesser Zeke We need somebody who can do that. He has nobody to do that for him.
Yeah,
we have nobody like that.
Throwing out there McCarthy's scheme, which is a zone power running. You
Yep.
need a power back and playmaking receivers, and Dallas has 3 out of the 5.
And that's the thing, is that the Cowboys, Pollard is a playmaking running back, but he's not a power back. Even if he can do that stuff, he's not going to be able to do it for a whole year and be consistent at it. So, again, he might have a couple of good games like that, but he's going to have to be, you got to have another guy you rely on for the big hits, the bigger runs that we need somebody big to handle that stuff. Now, do you have to get Derrick Henry? No. There's a lot of big guys still in the NFL we can bring in here. Do we have to get, are we going to, break the bank for Derrick Henry? I doubt it. I'll be very shocked. I'll be surprised if we did. So to me, when you look at the price tag that Pollard has already and the usage of a big play-making back that he is, you make him better. Again, I said this before about Zeke. We have a better Zeke right now and a healthier Zeke if we use Pollard more in the past. And now, this past year we used a lot more Zeke. I mean, a lot less Zeke because he was injured, but a lot more Pollard to get ready for this switch over. And we never brought in anybody to replace quote-unquote Zeke. And I don't mean Zeke like you have to get someone as good as Zeke was. You just need somebody who can be a power back, who can do some of the things that Zeke can give you still. And that would be the power side of things. And we don't see that here with this offense. But pass protection, that was my main point. Pollard is right up there with the best of them.
Yeah. Drums and Cowboys saying, not taking advantage of the trade deals is stupid. Look what trades and acquisitions did for Miami, the Niners, Eagles.
If the right deal is there. If the right deal is there, you take it, but not to trade away, a second, a third, and a fourth to get, Derrick Henry, and you got to pay him, $16 million a year. That'd be stupid, I think, in my opinion, right? To do that. So
agree.
You can't just make the trade. You got to make the smart trades.
I don't think it was necessarily do that willy-nilly. It's more those teams took a bit of a risk, but they got some oomph. They brought some talent. They made some kind of move, and heck, even if they made some smaller moves, the point is that moves were made.
Right.
If you do nothing now, that's probably going to end up worse for you than it is to make even a small move now and have that not work out. Okay, fine. But if you make a small move now and it works out, that's going to have a much bigger impact than the other direction.
I agree.
And usually, like I said, the other direction means failure. At least for us, at least on our side. So, and you can't deny that some of the more competitive teams, even when you consider the last year or two, they're the teams that made at least one kind of mid-season something, right? Whether it was a few weeks into the season, they picked up some player, or, again, trade deadlines, all that stuff. So, anyway, let me see here. Read the kind of final bits of comments. And yeah, Seabass, hard to forget that McCarthy lied. McCarthy definitely, Pinocchio.
Amazing Game said, I'll take Leonard Fournette. There's a good name there. You know what I mean?
Now, Amazing Game's also throwing out there, Pollard is still legit. McCarthy's just a moron as a play caller.
I think that's some of it as well. I think he's not using Pollard as best he could. But I also think we need to have a short ground runner here, a short yardage runner, and we don't have that guy. Let's be honest. We don't have that consistent short yardage running back. We need a power running back.
McCarthy's insistence on trying to use Pollard in more of a power back situation is just dumb, which is obviously, part of the scheming issue, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Pollard was just never going to be that guy.
Yeah, and Deuce Vaughn was drafted, but like Pioneer said, he doesn't play because he can't block. That's one of the bigger issues. Blocking,
he'll never block.
Providing any help back there for Dak makes him almost, irrelevant unless you use him right. If you use Deuce for deucey things, you can be successful, but you can't use him in pass protection. Like Pollard can do that.
I know, but the problem is that Deuce Vaughn, more than any other player on the field, he's kind of doing what Turpin did back when he was under Kellen Moore's scheme. It's super obvious what we're going to do whenever he's out there. You might as well put a giant spotlight on him and bells and whistles and everything else, because everyone knows exactly what's going to happen. Yeah,
Montana also said Pollard was legit because of Zeke, and I understand what he's saying. I understand it because he's doing it. Zeke because of how good he was, and he gave Pollard the ability to kind of come in there and kind of change it up, right? So that's definitely part of it. I also think if the Cowboys had a more, running back that was a power running back, that would help Pollard, not as much as Zeke would have helped him at his best, but it would help Pollard be better to take some of those hits off of him, and it would make him, break for that touchdown we saw last week against the Chargers where he got stopped from behind. So Great comments, great points, guys. Everybody hit that like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't yet. And let's go Cowboys. Now, moving on from running back, the final piece of discussion tonight. We talked about everything else. We'll start off a new week tomorrow, and we'll talk about the Rams tomorrow. We're going to start talking a little earlier about them because we're going to be gone to Dallas Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday. We'll be back home by then. But we'll be there for a couple of days, and we'll be doing a couple of streams from there. But it'll be a little different than we used to. We're going to break it down, quick peek, offense, defense breakdowns here the next 3 days. But that starts tomorrow. We're going to see who wins this thing. Currently, looks like Snug X coming for the takeover. Jason Renfro close to it. Skeptical might be going back to back. We're closing this thing out here very soon. But first, last topic to talk about. Last player, last position on the field, the tight end. With Fergie, baby. Not the boom boom pal.
Fergalicious.
But we got Jake Ferguson, our tight end. So, as he puts the football right in my mouth there, let me bring up a couple little interesting... is he a top guy in the NFL, our tight end, is Ferguson? Is he on fire? Ferguson, his production this year, as we entered this bye, currently he's the 5th best pass blocking graded tight end in the NFC. 5th best.
Yeah, that's not bad.
In the NFC. He's the 2nd best in the NFC East. I'm just trying to say, like, this is an NFC East that has some pretty solid guys in there, as far as blocking tight ends. The guy Bellinger from the Giants, the one that was ranked right next to Ferguson by Kittle. You got what's his name, Goddard over there as well for the Eagles. He's also in the NFC the 6th best run blocking graded tight end in the NFC. He's 2nd best in the NFC East again. Again, as far as a pass blocking grade overall, 78.6, very close to excellent. 6th best run blocking in the NFC. 2nd best in the NFC East, 68.3. That's right close to, that's above average when it comes to run blocking tight end. When it comes to the overall graded tight ends in the NFC, he's 6th in the NFC. Overall in the NFC East, as far as the overall ranking, he's number 1. Better even than your Eagle guy there, Dallas Goedert. So technically, he's better than Dallas Goedert as an overall tight end currently with a 70.1 grade. He's also the 10th best overall graded tight end. 10th best in the NFL. So when you look at the overall grade by the analytics, he's ranked 10th in the, not NFC or East, but in the NFL. So you're looking at top 10 tight end, by the way, right there with in Jake Ferguson in the NFL. And if you look at the NFC as far as a receiving tight end, he's had a couple drops, but he's the 11th best receiving graded tight end in the NFC. Could be better there, right? He's still number 2 in the NFC East with a 67.3. Again, above average, almost to a very good, grade there. So again, Jake Ferguson, even though we haven't, it's funny, we haven't seen much, I would say, like production stats really on the field from him too often, right, this year. I know we thought we were going to see more from him. But I think it's the way the Cowboys scheme is working that's kind of keeping him more quiet. The pass blocking, the run blocking, the overall grade for a tight end, meaning catching and blocking, receiving, tight end in the NFC portion of things. One of the top guys, top 10 in the NFL, top 6 in run blocking and pass protection in the NFC. Just saying, we do, again, not that he's the best ever, but to me, he's up there right at the brink of a top 10 tight end. And let me just say one last thing about Jake Ferguson. If the Cowboys had this, again, I don't want to think about Kellen Moore's scheme, but if we had some of the good things of Kellen Moore's scheme, you would see the Dalton Schultz replacement be obvious. It'd be easy. Dalton Schultz this year would have similar numbers as Ferguson. Just wouldn't have that many opportunities. Still, would he have the same analytics? The pass blocking, run blocking. I don't know if Schultz would have that as consistent as Ferguson has. So Ferguson, to me, is the better option than Dalton Schultz. And to me, again, we're still waiting for Schoonmaker to show up. We got some injuries with Hendershot. We have McEwen in there. Kind of he messed up a player or two. So look, Ferguson is our best tight end, and I think he's even better. He's going to be more efficient and has a higher upside, higher ceiling than Dalton Schultz. Now, when you get the offense working a little more around him, a little better, that's when you'll see the Jake Ferguson numbers, I think, take off a little bit more. It's just a matter of getting him more chances, more targets. When he gets more of those, you will see Jake Ferguson make a lot of good with that. And I think that's one thing the Cowboys have, again, through McCarthy, have kind of taken the tight ends a little bit more out of the offense, which hurts Dak and hurts the offense too, right?
Yeah, Dak has always done better when he's had that kind of tight end crutch, so to speak. So
yeah, the tight end blanket, so to speak.
The good thing is, like you kind of said, him and Ferguson are going in the right direction as far as together. You know what I mean?
Dak and Ferguson?
Yeah, he is starting to
agree.
slowly look a little better, improve, and the effort is definitely there. I do think, in a weird way, I think this one actually does come down more to scheme than anything, because he's only really getting 2 to 3 targets a game, if that. You know, that doesn't give him as many chances, obviously, to maybe show his stuff. Or develop that type of connection with Dak, but at the same time, because of some of his earlier season inconsistencies, I can understand why the scheme moved a little bit away from him and is only just now kind of starting to reconfigure its way back in his direction. So, honestly, relatively positive about the fact that he, will continue to improve, just because, I don't think, it's kind of funny though, because I don't think he's going to be as good as Schultz. I'll be honest.
Maybe, I think it depends on the scheme.
He's never going to quite get to that level, but his blocking is on another level.
Yeah, well, again, I think...
So at least that, he's going to always be a contributor.
I think that, again, in a scheme that's anything more... just a little bit less conservative than this shit will show Ferguson better than Schultz. I think statistically, analytically, pass blocking, pass receiving, I think Ferguson is the better tight end than Schultz. We'll have to wait and see, though. We got to use him more. That's my thing. I see Montana also reminding me about Darren Waller from the Giants. Supposed to be their big shot guy. Hasn't been, he scored today, but he hasn't really been that big shot guy. I'd take Ferguson over Waller right now.
Yeah. So, let me roll back a little bit.
On the tight end as we wrap it up here, guys.
Yeah,
Hour and a half show.
I'm going to read these next 2 comments here, and then I'm going to end it on a bit more of a fun note, of course. Now, Seabass said, blocking is more worrisome at the moment. We have enough guys that can do better at pass receiving.
Well, that's the thing. I got Ferguson, again, Schoonmaker is a much better blocker than receiver right now, right? And Ferguson's a better receiver, but he can do both is the key here. And even though his numbers are a little bit lesser on the receiving side, that's because he hasn't been targeted as much. You see the run blocking is superior in most tight ends in the NFL, in the NFC East for sure, and even in the NFL when it comes to overall blocking, run blocking, pass blocking, catching, everything added up, he's still top 10. So I think that is, the bigger eye-opener there about him this
Dustin
year.
Roberts saying,
with limited shots.
Dustin Roberts saying, but we need 2 tight ends because we haven't been able to run 12 personnel.
And that's where Schoonmaker has to come in. That's where Mike McCarthy has to scheme better and use him better. Dak has to look for him, all that stuff. But Ferguson, he's doing his job. It's a matter of, to me, scheming him into things and making sure, you're not forgetting about your tight ends. Both of them. When it comes to, security blankets, passing the ball, using them wisely. That's not up to Dak, though, or Pollard or CeeDee Lamb. That's up to Mike McCarthy to get that shit right.
I agree. So, let me see here. Montana 808 said, Waller is mid. Ferg is
Well, you still got to figure him out, right? I think that Ferguson, with very little targets and very little real chances this year, is still showing he can hang with the top guys. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I think we got to see more from him. But I'm hoping that we'll see more opportunities for Ferguson. That's the biggest thing I think holding him back, opportunities. He had a drop. He had an opportunity for a touchdown down the seam, and Dak missed them. So that would have been nice to see him have that opportunity. Can he make that catch going 30 yards down the field like Schultz did? Still waiting for that from Ferguson, right?
That tends to be one of the bigger problems there. So now Seabass saying, I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but I really don't like our second draft picks.
He's talking about Schoonmaker.
I was going to say, that doesn't offend me at all, because outside of Diggs, I can't, it's hard to think of one off the top of my head that I like.
Yeah, he's focusing on Schoonmaker, though. And Schoonmaker is the pick that, a lot of us had issue with. When you watch the Bills and Osiris Torrance, I saw McGovern today playing over there, but I saw Osiris Torrance. He seemed to have a fantastic season as far as a rookie. And in a guard, I think he's the 8th or 9th best rated guard in the NFL as a rookie starter. That's pretty impressive. You got 2 in each team. You got 64 4 different starting guards, and he's like 12th or 8th or something like this. That's pretty good. So that could have been the guy we had. Instead, we got Schoonmaker. We barely see. He does block now. Very good blocking numbers, but we got a 1-yard catch for a touchdown, and he has 3 drops, I think, out of like 6 targets the whole year. 3 drops. That's you can't have that shit.
So Pioneer said Schoon, Mozzie, and Deuce have proven worthless.
Yeah, they've proven nothing right now. Not much at all. Give them time, but yeah, we want to see more. Now, I always say about Mozzie,
they've proven to be disappointments as of now, but yeah.
I've always said Mozzie, you got away with him a little longer. People want it now. It's not going to happen now. But
I don't think people are wrong for also saying, okay, we don't mind waiting until next year. But are we going to see anything now? Or
well,
are we gonna,
with our first round pick, Mozzie, he's kind of going slow. Schoonmaker going slower. Overshown, our 3rd round pick, injured for the year. Those are hurtful things. You keep going. You got Fehoko, never even was active, barely active, I think, for games. You had Aston Richards, who's still not really being used out there. You got used a little bit, but backup, 3rd stringer at the offensive lineman. A lot of Eric Scott. Where is he? You got Jalen Brooks. Where is he? And none of these guys are playing. Deuce got a little bit of play, then kind of phased out. Big bust so far this year in our draft. Let's be honest. As for now. Again, I always like to wait a little longer for all these guys.
I agree, but this is definitely looking to be one of our worst drafts in a very long time.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate considering
the need.
We started off the year with what we thought was one of our more talented squads in a while. You know what I mean? Like as far as like the base core guys. So honestly, a shitty draft combined with some, as of now, lackluster trade moves during the offseason. Not great. At least Gilmore, again, is trending in the right direction. Cooks is trending in the right direction, but we're still talking about week 7, week 8 before these guys are trending in the right direction.
Gilmore has 2 picks, but yeah, he's blown more than he's made plays there. But look, Cactus Z said, bro, this is Mozzie's gotten better. I have heard that. Mozzie is getting better every game. So, again, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not really down on Mozzie yet because I knew this. I know a lot of people want to see first rounder. They got to go out there and play. That's not going to happen for a defensive tackle. It never fucking does. Unless your name is, Russell Maryland or Aaron Donald, and you're picked in the first, 3 or 4 picks. Then it happens. And sometimes it don't even happen then. But unless you're a top 5 or top 10 ultra stellar defensive tackle, you're not going to play well in your first year, even if you're 15th, even if you're 20th, even if you're 20, whatever, where he was drafted by the Cowboys. That means Mozzie Smith is more for end of the season and next season. We want to keep him healthy because he's got to keep learning on the job, and he's getting better every week. Mozzie will be okay. I'm not going to judge him on year 1. I said that from the beginning when we drafted him.
So,
with that, shout-outs
with that said, I'm going to go ahead and do the shout-outs here. And as I do the shout-outs, guys, go ahead if you are either from the Dallas-Fort Worth area or familiar with it and stuff like that. Just go ahead and drop some suggestions or some can't-miss things for us. Of course, keep in mind that we'll be with a 16 and 14-year-old. So try to keep it at least PG-13 and up. Below.
Yeah, they're pretty knowledgeable kids.
I know,
they're all right. So. But yeah, we can't go to clubs and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, anything else
or a strip club or
obviously. But I'm saying outside of that, we can go to nice areas to eat. I know there's a part we went with some of our family there in Dallas. What's
Daniel Mesa and his lovely wife,
the Mesa man. Yes,
of course, Cowboys Abroad and his lovely wife Yumi.
So
again,
good.
We've been very lucky.
Meeting up with some of you guys there.
Meet up and hang with some of you guys out there. Hopefully we'll catch a few of you at the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
know Thomas Garrett's going to be there.
That's right. Thomas Garrett's going to be at the Rams game. Listen, I think that when you look at, when we were at that, what was that place we went with Mr. Mesa there and his wife? There was a great little
it was like a promenade or something?
Yeah, it was really, we have to get some information on that because we need to go back there. It was near the Star. It was in Frisco. And it was like a 2-level kind of drinking. It was a bar, but it was like a good kind of chill place to sit. It had a lot of upstairs and downstairs. It was kind of, I don't think it was outdoors.
I don't think it was
near
nice. Frisco.
You sure? No, I don't know where we were in their car, so I don't know.
True.
But my point is that there's a couple places we're going to look into and try to get on track with the same page, and hopefully, some of you guys can suggest something as well. So,
Pioneer said Dallas is known for its gentleman establishments.
Oh, we know. We know, from previous years.
I don't think we know. I think you might know. I don't think we know.
From way long ago, yeah. Way long ago.
Anyway, Dustin Roberts, much love. Mike Aldana, appreciate that. Pioneer in the house, drums and Cowboys. And trust me, I screenshotted that one earlier when he said it. Amazing games. Much love to you.
Yeah.
Of course, we have C. Bass in the house. Let me see. Cactus G in the place to be. Amazing games. Mike Aldana. Much love to you both. Frank Moore in the house. What's up? Let me see. Asmodeus. Of course, your family.
Hell yeah.
My Cowboys family. Let me see. Drums and Cowboys. Dustin Roberts. I think I shouted you out, but just in case, another shout out. Going back. Tokyo. I think that's as far back as I can go. Raul, Xavier Hidalgo. Retro
Scotty.
Yep, Retro Scotty. Let me see. Anthony Robertson.
Well, oh, by the way, Retro Scotty also, I forgot to mention, shout him out, I think, once last, that Friday, Fan Friday call-in show. He was another person that called in to our show. Much love to Retro Scotty on that side.
Oh, let me see. Siva said MCF. The best bet with a wife is to remain silent like she's the cops.
You're right. Too late now, though. She got me. She's frisking me as we speak, guys.
Entrapment.
Guys, thank you all for rocking with us. I will shout out those that dropped the love from above tonight. Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Brandon James, Stanny 1, and Clark Kent in the house. Thank you all for dropping the love from above. Of course, 808 Cowboy, Legion of Doom, he is back in the membership there on his own with that navy blue crew style. And when we look at the membership stuff, baby, gifting memberships, looks like Skeptical Fan held off Justin D and Jason Renfro to be our top gifter for 2 straight weeks, back-to-back, like who? Like our 90s Cowboys, you know it. So much love to Mr. Skeptical Fan, the gifting champion. And baby, Jason Renfro, of course, he's still holding down that stream boss. When you look at that Cash App, you know why he's here, baby. It's Mr. Snug X. You see his name above as well.
You already know.
There's a reason why. Sponsor of the week is Mr. Mark Hovsepian. Much love to him. Baby, not 1, not 2. He rocked it for 3 weeks in a row. But now we got Drums and Cowboys in the membership. Why, baby? Why is that?
Jason Renfro said, hold up.
I
gotta show the love and gift a membership to a lucky MCF member here.
Is that a second one of the night?
I believe so.
So, again, I crowned Skeptical Fan the champion. But if Jason Renfro drops one more, he actually wins that gifting championship. So I gotta leave it open. Mr. Jason Renfro, by the way,
right.
He also jumps in front of the Lunatic in second place, right behind Snug X. Hey, I guess it could come down to it here at the buzzer. But right now, Jason Renfro trying to do a last-second takeover? Question mark? Maybe. Well, Jason Renfro, much love to him. He has 75 points in the Stream Boss. He's got 3 gifted memberships, now tied with Skeptical Fan, 3 gifted memberships. Are we going to take this another week? I don't know.
We'll have to see. So
And he's right now in a tie for first place with Skeptical Fan. Again, usually these things usually are supposed to be over by now. We were taking it for another week. Could Skeptical Fan be held off of another one? I don't know. We'll see. Jason Renfro has a chance to steal it at the buzzer with 1 more gifted membership. I updated the board.
Yes, but as we, of course... No, I'm just... What?
No, there it is. He dropped another one. Jason Renfro dropping the winning membership drop right there, baby. I think that puts him in first place, if I'm not mistaken.
Officially, yes, it does.
When it comes to gifting.
To Chappelle Hannon.
Yeah, he got one. He's back in it, too. Oh, baby, with that drop right there, now 4. He got 2 safeties. I'm taking first place. With 2 safeties, it is Jason Renfro overpowering. Talk about the buzzer beater, baby. Jason Renfro in first place all by himself in the gifting membership side of things. 4 of them. Skeptical has 3. Justin has 1. Now let me rephrase myself here. As Jason Renfro is in second place. Probably too far back on Snug. But Jason Renfro, gifting champion. Jason Renfro, 75 points in the Stream Boss. Much love to the man. He's in second place as well. And I got to say another thing, baby. He ain't done yet. He said, guess what? At the buzzer, I'm going to just throw in there. Why not? Another dollar holler in the Cash App.
Ooh, Jason.
And a Go Cowboys. Much love to Jason Renfro. Although he's still not catching Snug, who's above everyone else on the overall board, and he will be taking that crown from Mark Hovsepian 3 weeks in a row. And now Snug X has the other takeover side of things. You got 2 with Jason Renfro. You got 2 with Snug X. SnugX currently is going to be our sponsor of the week. He's our Cash App King 10 weeks in a row. Wait, 11 weeks in a row for the man, SnugX. Much love. Oh, and by the way, even though still trying at the end here, Jason Renfro dropping another literal one on it here, guys, with a dollar holler and a Go Cowboys. Another one from Jason Renfro at the buzzer. Much love to him and Go Cowboys. Yes, Jason Renfro, 75 points in the Stream Boss, gifting champion starting tomorrow. Not Stanley, but SnugX. He is not just a Cash App King for 11 straight weeks starting tomorrow. He's also the sponsor of the week, taking that over. We got a dominant takeover by SnugX and Jason Renfro. Much love to both of you guys. And both of you guys, we know why you're here. But no matter what, always, navy, blue, silver, 2 star for everything. Go Cowboys. You know it here, baby. So again, appreciate all the family. Last second drops. The comments of the night. But baby, now that we are done for the week, the night, and the bye week is now fully done, we kick off a new week tomorrow here, ready to relock and reload. But baby, before we can drop out of here, tell everybody, why do we do this here on My Cowboys Family each and every night on YouTube?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. This week, we almost won the bye week. The real game starts again next Sunday. Cannot wait, guys. So you know the deal here. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. We always rip that star over everything. And here on MCF, 6 years and beyond, going to another game with you guys live starting next week. But the first one for the kids. Can't wait to do it. Baby, if we can drop out of here, again, out of the channel tonight and for the week, I do have to say, don't ever forget, guys, number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, say it loud, say it proud, say it with us. Go Cowboys. Let's get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all for dropping your knowledge in the chat all night long. Can't do this without your guys' comments, your thoughts on our Cowboys. Cannot do this without your drops of love from above, the support you guys give us through all the different facets. Thank you guys. Can't say how much we appreciate your love and support. And on that note, it is time to clock out and drop out. Not just for tonight, but for the week. We will speak again, starting a new one tomorrow. Relocking and reloaded, baby. Before we can do all that, let everybody know what we got to do before we drop out of here for the night.
We got to drop the beat.
And that beat now officially has been dropped. Thank you guys for dropping in with us, talking a little bit, shooting shit with us about our Cowboys and about this week of the bye. Right, we'll be having the new Ram and emojis here tomorrow for those in the family and the membership, and of course we'll be trying to be live here with you guys every night this week. Of course, we're having the Big D to see hopefully a big dub by our Cowboys over the Rams. I cannot wait. We'll be taking a look at that game tomorrow and more right here on a new week right here, My Cowboys Family. And hey, as we close it out tonight right here, another Cowboys chat. We talked about Dak, the Justin Herbert, Josh Allen comparisons, all these guys. Come on, take a look at it, guys. We talked about it. The real issue, Dak's screaming at him right now. Mike, help the offense. Woo. Well, Jerry Jones looks like he's giving a thumbs up to that. The defense is ready, you know it. And hey, Micah back there looking at you guys. DeMarcus Lawrence, Osa. Come on, Cowboys. Let's get this thing going together going forward. Defense, offense, special teams, coaching. And let's try to make a run. One last-ditch effort for that run for 6 and beyond. Right here in MCF, you know what it's always about. That navy blue, that silver too, that star for everything. Never, ever forget the number one damn thing here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to all of you, the family, the family and friends listening and watching, even the haters in the background. We see you. Much love to all. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel. Keep it growing, and hitting that notification bell. We'll see you back here for tomorrow for another one, a new week. Getting our eyes and our minds set up for the Rams matchup. Much love, guys. Peace out, and never, ever forget. Go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat.